What's the best boat for you? Whether you're fishing the flats for bonefish or trout, heading offshore trolling for dolphin, or bottom fishing for grouper, Florida Sportsman's Best Boat will provide the information you need to decide which boat is the best boat for you. Florida Sportsman's boating editor and trusted selected experts have traveled to some of Florida's hottest fishing locations to review the latest in outboard technology, as well as run 36 boats in 12 different classes, including flats boats, bay boats, and center consoles. Today on Florida Sportsman's Best Boat, we are traveling to the gateway to the 10,000 Islands, where some of the best snook, trout, and redfish action in the state can be found in Marco Island. Our host, Dave East, boating editor of Florida Sportsman magazine, will be joined by Captain Tony Bezello, whose 30 years of experience has led to 40 top 5 redfish tournament wins and over 100 trout larger than 5 pounds. Dave and Tony will take the class of 22-foot bay boats and put them through their paces. They'll be conducting walkthroughs, test drives, and reviewing key features, all to help you decide if this is the best boat for you.
Welcome to Marco Island. This is the gateway to the 10,000 Islands. I'm your host, Dave East, boating editor of Florida Sportsman magazine. Today we're here at the beautiful Calusa Island Marina. I'm joined by my good friend, Captain Tony Bezello. He's going to tell us a little bit more about his experience, and together we're going to look at a class of 22-foot bay boats and evaluate them.
Thanks a lot, David. It's always a pleasure to be down here in the Calusa Marina and surrounded by all these beautiful mangrove islands. It's what I love to do, being a full-time captain. I feel really at home. It's always nice to spend this amount of time with Florida Sportsman magazine.
We got 3 boats tied over there in the marina. I can't wait to get on them and give them a test run.
Well, I'm with you, David. I'm looking forward to it. They look like great boats, and what a great place to run them. What do you say we go?
Let's go. Having the need for a boat with a little taller freeboard than a skiff and a hull design that incorporates a sharper entry is what started the bay boat class. In the 22-foot range, you'll find several manufacturers that produce a bay boat that can get you into the backcountry, fish the river and bays, plus the inlets. The larger displacement provides capacity for multiple anglers, and when that big one hits, you'll have the stability of landing. The addition of a bow-mounted trolling motor allows these bay boats to probe a mangrove shoreline or target a sweetwater largemouth. But even with the smooth ride normally associated with a larger offshore performer, a bay boat in the 22-foot range can be towed or launched with a modest-sized pickup or SUV. Now, if your new bay boat has to bring your family to the sandbar, you'll find many manufacturers have designed in family-friendly features that are comfortable and strike a good balance between catching a variety of inshore species and taking the entire clan for a day on the water of reconnecting to what's important. With the growing popularity of bay boats in the 22-foot range, many manufacturers have added one to their line, and picking the ones that best represented the class was not easy. To best show the key features that makes this class of bay boats ready for action, we chose the Blackjack 224, the Blue Wave 2200 Pure Bay, and finally, the Sportsman Masters 227. The Kenner family has made a name for themselves in the skiff industry, and the Blackjack 224 is a culmination of years of experience to create a boat that has a sleek design and the classic look of a Carolina flare. Even the transom has a notch of nostalgia with its tumble-home shape and pocket insert. Beneath those good looks, you'll find 100% composite construction. The deck layout features an anchor locker, a forward fish box, locking rod storage, wide flat gunnels, large insulated live wells, and other molded compartments with loads of storage. The fuel tank holds 70 gallons, and the max horsepower rating is 250. The Blue Wave 2200 Pure Bay's deck layout leans more towards the fisherman, but there are some very nice family features as well. Finished lids with dry seal gaskets top off the bow storage compartment, along with the release well and twin locking rod boxes. Forward of the console is a hatch leading to in-deck storage great for a cast net. The front seat of the console is an insulated cooler, and the leaning post has a built-in bait well. The rear deck includes a release well, plus a pair of folding jump seats. All composite construction, including the stringer system, ensures years of trouble-free operation, and an 80-gallon fuel tank is more than ample for the 225 max horsepower rating. Sportsman added to their successful line of offshore boats the Masters 227. It features a large forward casting deck with anchor locker and cast net storage, plus twin locking rod boxes. The center console seat doubles as a 12-gallon live well, and at the helm, you'll find a yacht-style pod with a built-in footrest. The total access hatch on the rear deck provides additional storage and easy access to systems like pumps, seacocks, and wiring. The hatch is flanked by two 25-gallon aerated live wells, and the top of the access hatch contains a flip-up bench seat. A 72-gallon fuel tank is standard, and the all-composite hull carries a 250 max horsepower rating.
Up next, Dave East will present the Florida Sportsman Best Boat Seminar Series, so stick around. This segment is brought to you by the best-in-class Evinrude E-Tech 150 horsepower outboard engine. Proven power, proven reliability.
For more information on the Best Boat Series, pick up a copy of our new magazine, Florida Sportsman Best Boat, at newsstands, or visit us on the web at floridasportsman.com.
Evinrude E-Tech has been outperforming four-stroke engines for years. But what about the latest 150 four-strokes that claim to deliver two-stroke-like torque? See the proof for yourself. Get your free DVD now and watch how the two-stroke Evinrude E-Tech 150 outpulls and out-accelerates the four-stroke competition. See how it wins when it comes to maintenance, ease of winterization, and more. Evinrude E-Tech is the true champion. Go to evinrude150challenge.com and get your free DVD now.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman's Best Boat. Let's check in with Dave East as he presents the Florida Sportsman Best Boat Seminar Series.
All right, Tony, let's say somebody's made the decision they're going to buy a bay boat. One of the biggest considerations is, do you put a T-top on it or do you not put a T-top on it? Because that's a pretty big, it's a big expense, and it's an option that a lot of people use. I, for one, would definitely put a T-top on a bay boat that I would buy. What would you do?
I don't know, David. You bring up a really good point. I think, in my position, I don't think I would put a T-top on it, and I'll tell you some of the reasons why. One of the reasons is, you know, basically when you get into some of the bay boats, say 19 to 24 feet, I like a lot of room to move around. And if one of my clients or myself hook a big fish, I like to have the accessibility to have 360 degrees to fight my big fish. And sometimes I think that that might get in my way.
Yeah, well, there'll be times I'm sure that people are going to smack it, the T-top with their rod. But from our consideration, we're going to do some light offshore. So I'm going to put my outriggers definitely on the T-top. And there's some, like this particular boat we're in has built-in misters that can come on, and it puts out a mist to keep you cool in the summertime. And you do get some shade. I mean, not as much as a bimini, but enough to keep you out of the elements. So for me, a T-top would be a pretty important feature that I would add to a bay boat.
Well, I have to agree with you, David. You make some good points, but I think I would stick with probably not having one. I think it would suit me personally better. Yeah, David, I really like that. Definitely the lock-in feature in today's day and age really helps you out. And hey, look at this. Nice deep gunnel. Doesn't allow all your water to get in there. And something as a guide I like, David, if you look, all their reels are off and elevated off the boat floor and the deck, and they don't bang. It's a really good system. I like it.
Yeah, these particular hatches fit really, really tight. They've used a cam-type latch that when you close it, you can see this actually tightens up and it pulls the latch down. Just makes it, there's no rattle, and it keeps a lot of water out.
You know, something else I want to point out that I just saw, you also have this piece right here that keeps this open, and I'll tell you what, that's not going to slam your fingers when you're in a bit of a chop. Really nice feature.
Not only is this deep and it's insulated so I can use it as a fish box, but look, it passes through. I haven't seen this on other boats. This is just a big U-shaped compartment, and it's got two hatches that access it.
Wow, that's really big. I didn't realize that either. That is a nice bunch of storage. You could really put a lot of gear down that and enjoy your day.
Absolutely.
All right, David, the other thing too, this boat has, I mean, just a beautiful amount of storage. I mean, you've got all your Coast Guard gear. I mean, really a lot of storage. It's got a drain. It doesn't get wet. It's got a real nice gutter system. I mean, this way you don't have a bunch of water going in there. And also, it flips back. It doesn't bang your fingers. What a really well-designed storage on this boat.
Well, on a 22-foot bay boat like this, you're going to carry a lot of tackle. You're going to carry your stuff to go to the beach. You have to have a place to put it where it's out of the way, because your cockpit's floor, this area here is important. So if I can take all my tackle boxes and my PFDs and everything else we're going to carry, and it's out of the way and it's not bouncing around as we're running, that's important to me.
Well, I agree. It also has a nice fish box here as well. What I like about this too, it also gives you a step up so you're not jumping if the boat's rocking around. Again, it's got a nice gutter system. The water drains. I mean, real solid, real good. Nice design.
Yeah, the step up you mentioned, that's important because instead of making that huge step from the cockpit all the way to the deck, you've got an intermediate step. At the end of the day, that's going to make a big difference.
Oh, absolutely. After you've fished hard, and not only that, you're getting in a little bit of rougher water. You got a little bit more stability in climbing up there, and a little bit less accidents.
Okay.
Hey, David, another neat thing about this console, you know, you take a wide-shouldered guy like me, get knocked around maybe on a day when it's a little rougher, you can really come through this one with ease. And I noticed that the way they've done this one, they've kind of indented it and narrowed it up a little bit, and it really makes for quite an easy walk right through the console and the gunnel.
Yeah, console design is very important. The way they've got this laid out, plenty of room for your flush-mounted electronics. Your switches are here. You've got your Linco tab controls here, easily accessible. You're going to spend most of your time back here. Whether you're driving the boat for fishing or you're taking it out to the sandbar, you've got to be comfortable and you've got to be able to access everything you need. Plus, you got to be able to see over it. So when you're looking at any boat, especially a bay boat, console design is key.
Yeah, and I noticed this particular one too. You can unscrew these knobs and just take this off really easy, and it really even opens it up quite a bit more.
Yeah, well, maybe it's got to fit into a garage, or even just the windage going down the highway. You could pull this off, and that's just that much less windage that you have resistance for a long trip.
That's a good point, David. Fitting in people's garages, that could be the difference of leaving this nice boat out in the open or actually putting it undercover. Good point.
Right, especially during love bug season. I don't want to clean love bugs off of that.
You and me both.
Up next, Captain Tony Bezello will present the Florida Sportsman Best Boat Seminar Series. This segment is brought to you by Salt Life Sport Optics. See the Salt Life difference.
For more information on the Best Boat Series, pick up a copy of our new magazine, Florida Sportsman Best Boat, at newsstands, or visit us on the web at floridasportsman.com.
Salt Life Sport Optics, Zeiss lenses, Rypel technology, total UV protection. Live the salt life. Minimize color distortion and glare to retain true color recognition. Combine lifestyle and high performance. Salt Life Sport Optics.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman's Best Boat. Let's check in with Captain Tony Bezello as he presents the Florida Sportsman Best Boat Seminar Series.
Now, David, now we're in a bay boat that doesn't have a T-top. One of the things I wanted to expand on is, you know, if I'm at the helm and all of a sudden I come up on maybe a school of fish and they're busting the water and I wanted to have quick access to my fish, I'd have to leave my helm, maybe reach up to the T-top, grab a rod. That seems like a lot for me.
Right.
Right here, I've got 4 rod holders right here, 4 on the starboard side. I can just stand right at the helm. I can still have control of my boat. I can take a rod and I unhook it and I'm ready to make my cast. The other thing I like is I kind of like being out in the sun. I don't like to be confined. I like to be able to have good visibility, and in saying all that, I can go ahead and take this windshield off, and it has a few options that I really enjoy, and that's one of the reasons I like a boat without one.
Yeah, the T-top, it does give you shade though, so I'm sure your bill each year for sunscreen has got to be pretty high.
It is.
Yeah, and I guess you could do a bimini top if you were wanting it both, where you could have an open boat like this without a top, and you could have a bimini that would be removable.
Sure. Well, it just gives the customer a lot of different options, but between the T-top, a boat without it, a bimini top, I guess they have some kind of things for everybody, so you just got to find what you want and build your boat.
Yeah, I could see where if we were fishing 3 guys out of the boat and everybody wanted to cast, an open boat would be much better than having a T-top in the way.
Yeah, and that's what I have to look at, David. But in saying so, what do you say we go get some fish?
Oh, I'd love to.
All right.
Now, we had talked a little bit earlier about the console, but seating, I think, is very important, and a lot of people, there's all kind of different seating arrangements out there. You have pedestal seats, and you got leaning posts, and you got all kind of the stuff that you can sit on or lean on. It's got to be comfortable. If you're going to make a long run, you don't necessarily want to stand all the time. You don't want to sit all the time. And here again, it's going to be a personal preference thing. It's got to fit you. It's got to be comfortable to what you're going to do. Here we can lean and we can stand up and see if we're running in shallow water. But let's say we're going to take that long run, 20 miles or more. I don't want to stand. I want to sit back like this and be comfortable.
And you look comfortable.
I am.
Nice option.
I know you guys put a lot of emphasis on live bait. Tell me a little bit about the way this one is set up with the live bait well.
Well, I'm a big fan of having a nice big live well in the back, David. This particular one has a 32-gallon well right here. Pretty easy access. You could actually take your rocket launcher out, but it's got a grab rail right here. Also, you can lean in the front. It's got all your controls, so you pretty much have everything right in this unit, plus your rods. It's almost like, it's its own unit. You don't have to go anywhere to the console. You're right here, right in where you're going to be fishing.
One thing I like too, it puts all the weight of all that heavy seawater right in the center of the boat. So that's going to make the boat not have the tendency to list from side to side. So to me, having a live well centered on the center line of the boat, it's important.
Oh, especially when you're dealing with 30 gallons or more. I mean, water's heavy. It's really nice to have it dead center. It'll definitely give you a better ride. And again, it's right here where you can get to it, right where you're going to be catching most of your fish.
Right. Well, in this particular boat, we have 32-gallon bait well here. Right behind it, it's a 40-plus release well. So if you fill both of these up, and that's a lot of weight here at the back of the boat.
Wow, David, and something else I realized. You've got an LED light in this one, and so if you've got a 40-gallon well, I mean, at nighttime, you might not be able to see if you just put a dozen or two fish in there. At least you can catch them with your net, and that looks like a pretty nice feature to have.
Right. Well, have you ever got at the end of the day, and you've got those last two baits that you just want to get out of there, or you put that big redfish in there, and he puked up a crab, and now you got to clean all that out. This one release well has a drain about that big in it, and when you pull that drain, it's like flushing a commode. Everything goes out.
Well, that's nice too, and as a guide at the end of the day when I come home, I like to drain my bait well so I get a nice comfortable ride home. It saves on gas, and it just keeps a nice clean tidy boat.
Yeah, why haul that water around if you're not going to be using it?
Absolutely.
You know, Tony, in a former life, I manufactured boats for 23 years, and one thing I don't understand is why manufacturers make access to all the systems through little tiny pie-eye holes. That's just way too hard. On this particular boat, look at all the access I've got to get to anything. All the systems are there, the pumps, the fuel flow, the fuel filter, the hoses, the clamps, everything. If I have to replace a pump, if I have to work on a hose clamp, if I have to get to a bilge pump, easily accessible.
Yeah, David, I gotta agree with you. I mean, even a big guy like me, I can get down in there and work, and that is truly a huge storage. And you know something else I just happened to notice? Look how they've got it laid out to put your cast nets, and it fits right into its place. Another great feature, really nice.
Look how deep that was.
Wow, you really got to your cast net really easy.
And there's two areas in the bottom of this that have little leave outs to keep the buckets from sliding around.
Yeah, I see that.
So not only is it good access to your systems, but you can store a ton of stuff down there.
Well, it's definitely big, and it's another nice feature, and I like having all that extra room, and it's really out of the way.
Up next, Dave and Tony will take you through our featured 22-foot bay boats. There's plenty more to come, so stick around for more Florida Sportsman's Best Boat. This segment is brought to you by Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
For more information on the Best Boat series, pick up a copy of our new magazine, Florida Sportsman Best Boat, at newsstands, or visit us on the web at floridasportsman.com.
It's 200 streamlined horsepower of Yamaha forward thinking. The all-new F200 inline four-stroke. Whether you're an offshore angler, pontoon cruiser, bay boater, or walleye hunter, the responsive and fuel-efficient F200 combines amazing power and versatility in one incredibly compact and lightweight package. The all-new F200. Legendary Yamaha reliability and the freedom of forward thinking.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman's Best Boat. Let's get back to Dave and Tony as they review our featured 22-foot bay boats.
Dave, another really nice feature. You know, sometimes when you get caught in a lot of rain and rough water and things like that, you know, you have a lot of water sloshing around the deck, and it's just so aggravating getting your feet all wet. Not only that, these scuppers have a collection box that will actually fill up. They won't have any water in the deck, and then it'll release it out the back, and it doesn't get clogged. So this is a really nice thing that I look for, because I do not like walking in a bunch of water, getting my feet wet. And what a nice layout. Now, David, this is something I really look for, because this is total fishability. You know, when you got your guy at the helm and he's driving, let's just say we want to take the boat off the beach and you want to troll for kingfish, or you want to do a different style of fishing, or maybe you're live baiting a tarpon behind the boat. This is really nice to have the rocket launchers right in the middle of the boat, and you can really have access to your rods, and something I really look for.
Well, too, if you're going to run offshore and you're going to make a run, let's say we're going to go any kind of distance at all, while you're driving, I may sit back here and rig baits. All the rods are right there. I can lay my tackle here. It's comfortable. Everything is right there where I can grab it.
Well, good. I like that. And if we're all running offshore, now you said you rig baits when we go, I know where you're going to be. This is a real nice option.
Okay, the last thing I really want to talk about is the fact that we've got a high-quality, secure ladder on the back of the boat. I don't think people give enough emphasis to having a ladder on the back of the boat, not for the obvious reasons. If we're going diving or snorkeling, yeah, sure you want a ladder. But let's say that we're fishing and it's winter time, a lot of heavy clothes on, you fall in the water, especially if you're by yourself, how are you going to get back in the boat? If you don't have a ladder that you can access from inside the water, that could be the difference of saving your life or not.
Yeah, and that looks like a really secure ladder so a big guy can get on that thing and get up back in the boat.
Yeah, in a 22-foot bay boat, this is one of the most important features that I would want. Man, we've had a great time. Andrew, thank you so much for your hospitality.
We're delighted to have you here.
Your marina, your facility, it's beautiful. If you've never been down to the 10,000 Islands, this is the gateway to the 10,000 Islands. You got to come check out Calusa Island Marina. It's gorgeous. Tell us a little bit about the facility and what stuff you have to offer.
Thanks. As you mentioned, we're real close right to the 10,000 Islands National Wildlife Refuge and Everglades National Parks, just a couple minutes away by boat. We've got about 450 dry storage spaces here, boat lifts, we have an excellent boat ramp, parking for 100 boats and trailers, 124 wet slips. We've got 13 professional guides that are based here, so people are looking for a fantastic backwater fishing experience. A lot of redfish, a lot of snook, trout, tarpon, all real fantastic backwater fishing. It's a good place to bring a bay boat, spend the weekend with the family. We also have some larger boats launching here, jumping off to go to the Keys. They don't want to tow a trailer all the way to the Keys. They launch here and head straight down. Pretty convenient.
Yeah, it is beautiful with the mangroves, and we saw manatees and dolphin and stuff. Now, let's say somebody doesn't have a boat, but they still want to come and experience the 10,000 Islands.
Yeah, there's a lot of options to do that. We do have a rental boat fleet here. We have 18-foot center consoles with live wells, bimini tops, colored GPS chart plotters. They can go out themselves. We also have a couple of tour companies that are based here, even for the non-fisherman who wants to enjoy the area and see the local wildlife and stuff like that.
Okay, so one stop, anything you need. So
Got it all.
if you haven't been to the area, definitely do yourself a favor, come check it out. Andrew,
We'd love to
thank
have
you
you.
again.
Thanks
We
a lot,
really
man.
had a
It's great
lot of
having
fun.
you guys.
If your boat needs to cross a long stretch of open water, but still get you into the backcountry, a bay boat is up to the task. You can target snook in the mangroves, tarpon in the inlet, and even bass on a lake. And when the fishing is over, you can bring the family to the sandbar. With the versatility that a bay boat has to offer, one in the 22-foot range may just be the best boat for you. Be sure to tune in next time to see more of the 36 boats we tested, from skinny water-capable 16-foot technical poling skiffs all the way to Gulfstream fishing machines in the 42-foot center console class. From stalking bonefish on the flats to pelagics in the ocean, or if you prefer quality time with the family, let Florida Sportsman help find the best boat for you. Camera boat provided by Carolina Skiff. For more information on the Best Boat series, pick up a copy of our new magazine, Florida Sportsman Best Boat, at newsstands, or visit us on the web at floridasportsman.com.